All right, so I thought I'd show this to you because I don't know, maybe I spent too long just reading through it and seeing what happened here. So if you don't already know, like this game constantly gets brought up on the main gotcha gaming Reddit. I think that's what it is. And like if you don't already know, I think I meant this every revenue video. Outside of the Nikke community, Nikke is viewed as a garbage game, a just pure on cash grab for people's hearts and minds in a way, right? Because obviously there's many selling points that Nikke prides themselves with, and because of that, people just look at this game as of a sort of thing. They also feel of it as competition to their game, and their game could kick the bucket or is starting to lose steam just because Nikke exists. So because of those many reasons, Nikke is hated on that aspect. But I saw this post, all right, and like people, I swear, in some instances this is actually funny, but I do want to show this to you. Recently we had like another thing where people like jump in on the game for a different aspect, and today you have this thing. I don't know. I just want to show this to you. Again, I did it for two reasons, being I want to see what your opinion is, and I just want to show this to you because I had a laugh. So maybe you'll have a laugh too. So let's jump into it. So actually hopping here, they actually deleted the post, but guess what? I'm very smart. I had the post saved because I know that they would do this kind of thing. I knew that it was going to go away, but it was up for a bit. I'll tell you now that when I got to it, it was about 8 hours, and it already had so many downvotes and about 100 already comments. But what the post said was basically this, right? Just want to read this to you. Just have a blast with this, all right? I refuse to believe that there's another gacha game with worse DPS check than Nikke. The late main campaign is so freaking hard, and they already lowered the difficulty from the previous BS1. Meta is everything, and without it, it's good freaking luck. You can't even cheese your way somehow like other games. Lower rarity units are utter trash in late game, and too many SSR have niche kits that are useless outside of their niche. Let's just read this statement again. Sorry, I can't even speak. It just baffled me. And too many SSRs have this niche kit that are useless outside of their niche. They have a niche kit that are useless outside of their niche. So their kit is niche, and outside of their niche, like you just described what a niche kit is. Good job. No amounts of strategy could help you when everything was would just be boiled down to DPS check in the end. Also the 160 wall, F that. The only main point we really got here that I agree with is, the 160 wall was kind of, BS, but the other Annie, so both Annies were a great time to start, and then the collab was a great time to start because of how many freebies they gave you. So as a day one player, it hurt me, but I do know that when players pick up the game now, if they picked up at the proper points with three things, like you had within the last 6 month time frame, if you picked up the game, you 1,000,000,000% would have cracked the 160 wall, because this like Fez alone gave you almost upwards to 150 pulls, correct? Then you had a full thing, so 160 wall at different times you picked up the game, you'd be there. So like if you started day one, would have taken you some time. It took me from day one at like the 6 month mark to fully crack the 160 wall. And for some players who started at Dorothy onto this part, they definitely cracked it like way earlier. So kind of different, right? But again, it's the only thing that I kind of agree with. Man, I just want to read the story and enjoy it on my own. The plot is legit good, and the characters are interesting. And the comments are going off. Bro is so bored, he made a post for Nikke players to come and defend the game. Bro is farming downvotes. Get Doroed. If you don't already know, the Doro memes are just the best. They're literally my only good part, I would say, of the Nikke Reddit is just seeing Doro memes. It's just seeing Doro memes. Literally the best. Idle games are notorious for having hard walls that take months to get by. It's no different. A lot of games have like that entire aspect. I mean, every game has it in a way. They're different in each one. It's like a wall. What do you consider the wall, right? In my opinion, in Genshin, considering the wall is just getting my right artifacts after months and months of trying, I could never get it. Beyond that, Grand Cross, the wall really, if you think about it, is Demonic Beast, right? The end game content. So every game has that sort of thing where it's a wall. You crack the wall. It takes time, correct? It's supposed to be the case. So, I mean, to each their own. Each one's different. They reduced the CP requirements for the anniversary by like 10k. I just managed to squeeze by another 10 fights in chapter 21. Good stuff. Again, I mean, to be honest with you, people also are talking about the bosses in this entire thing, saying like bosses were the issue. I'm gonna be honest with you, like, for whatever I've played, I'm able to kind of squeeze my own story. Like, if you, at the end of the day, I definitely think this, people do say, like, some units in this game have forced people to go their own way into, like, I can only run Modernia, I can only run Scarlet, I can only run these specific characters, and those specific characters are pilgrims, and they can't win with it, right? I do hope you know that there are other characters in the game, right? Yes, you have Summer Anise, but she's limited, Gogo, okay? You have A2, but she's limited, okay? So let's throw those characters out the window. You have Blanca Noir, Noir. Now get a third DPS. It's a standard character. That could be Drake. That could be literally Lapras. That could be so many characters. Blanca Noir is enough to boost you and help you get the schoolgirls, right? They're enough to boost you. If you're summoning the right banners at the end of the day, and you're playing this game also sort of in a waifu way, like, there's a lot of characters to go for and still win. And versus a lot of games, you have to realize, like, did we really power creep anything? Till today, Modernia, Scarlet, Dorothy, and all these other characters that released between the 1 and the 6 month mark, they're still really good. And did we really get power creep? You have to think about that too. The game's been out for a year. Games are kind of notorious for, power creeping characters. I mean, to each their own. It's different and everything, kind of separate. But we have this over here. I don't mind DPS check, but as someone who started on the anniversary, this game is nowhere near as generous as the players have claimed. Considering new players need 4 copies of a unit to even max level them and the 160 wall. First off, I'll make this clear. Genshin, you need C6. Excuse me, I'm lost here. Every game needs dupes, okay? And specifically in Nikke, you get nothing basically for duping. Like, you get what is it? What's the percentage? 2.5%? Is that it? Per dupe, which I can go about my day and not get a 2.5% and not cry about it. But hey, like, again, there's also Tower of God, which locks, I think, passives behind dupes, and you need a lot of dupes, by the way. And then Grand Cross locks sort of for festival units passives. What other games do I play? Genshin does, I think, do they do passives, right? Some sort of like ability or something like that, right? Where some characters are required to be C1 or C2, or something like that. So games do it way worse than what Nikke does. Nikke just gives you stats and an MLB, bro. People do it for mainly the MLB. They don't even care about the stats. The stats are so minuscule. They just do it for the MLB, like wallpaper. But okay, 160 wall was also there, which is the only, again, same point. I think that mainly 160 wall is the big thing. It's absurd how slow the currency gain is for a new player. I mean, it's not that the currency gain is low, it's just you're not gaining currency. You're mainly getting advanced recruit vouchers, right? You get 10 every 2 weeks, which is 3,000. So you get 6,000 a month in just that. You then have solo raid kicking up every month, which you should be aiming for at least 1,000 right there. Beyond that, you have Tribe Tower you're pushing. Beyond that, you have dailies you're doing, weeklies you're doing. You have the daily shop also paying you out 300 a month. Like, it's going to be kind of okay. Again, I still always argue for more gems per se, but you don't get that really. But for like the amount of times you get like a good event, right? You get good stuff here. So I still think that out of all the games I played, Nikke is still the most free to play friendly. Like, I'm so lost here. I don't know. My opinion though differently. Again, we all see things differently. So yeah, if you've played BD2, prepare for to be majorly disappointed with this game's income. Brown Dust, is that what that is? I don't play the game, so I have no idea. Hell, when you consider how gated the free-to-play experience is, you can make an argument for Genshin or Honkai Star Rail being way more free-to-play friendly than this. How gated the free-to-play experience is? How is it gated? Other than the 160 wall, which again, if you start between the 6-month mark and the 12-month mark right now, you would have had like the easiest push to 160. You got a full character duped out. Now that's only if you need 4 more. Now you get a selector, which can help you also. If you pulled all these summons that you just got together, there's a very high chance, and then you're doing the wish list system correctly, and you get your silver tickets. Because remember, how many tickets they gave you, you also probably get like a pity for your silver tickets, right? So I don't know. That's not a gated thing, but it's wild to say Genshin and Honkai are more free to play friendlier than this, because that game. For me, again, this is just my opinion. That's why I always never liked, sort of 180 pities, because it's like, I get it, the 50-50 exists, but I'm unlucky. Why do I got to sit here and suffer and suffer and suffer at the end of the day when, I just want my my one character. The reason that I stopped playing Honkai Star Rail was because I just got shafted on every banner. I was so depressed at a point where I'm like, all right, maybe I don't want to play this, because I lost the 50-50 in Genshin so many times. Then Honkai was like, okay, maybe we fix things here. I won the 50-50 on Jingyuan. I lost the 50-50 every single time beyond that until Jingliu, and then with Jingliu, I gave up. I was like, I want the character so bad. I'm hoping it works out, and then I had to go so far to get. And I stopped right before. I just didn't have enough summons, correct? Because you don't get really that insane amount of summons, so I just gave up. That happened to me, but yeah, I don't know. Saying that Genshin and HSR are way more free-to-play friendlier than this, I don't know if I rock with that, dude. I don't know if I agree to that statement, but that's my opinion. I know I'll be rated by the level 150 to 200 plus players defending their favorite game, but I'm right. I'm enjoying the game still and don't plan on quitting, but I'm highly dissatisfied with what this community is willing to accept as generous. So what do you want as a gift? What do you need to be a generous game? I mean, like 150 for an Annie is not generous, or giving a full-blown Pilgrim for free and maxed out. For Ray, they gave full Ray for free. I don't know. Give a SR here, give a free multi every single time they reach a milestone, whether it be a garbage milestone or not. Like, what do you consider generous is my question. You've awakened the Nikke. What you've done, dude. I'm telling you, this thread or this what is it? This forum, they or what is it? Reddit server, whatever. They hate Nikke with a passion. Somebody post about them being terrible. Nikke lives rent free in the subs brand, I swear. Based on these comments, y'all lives must have been ruined in some irreparable way by the game's success. Oh my god, first comment I'm agreeing with. Let's go. And misinformation gets upvoted. Yeah, I've seen that. People be ripping up the biggest lies in the world, the biggest lies, and put it here, and it just gets upvoted. And I'm here because it was for my other game that I played, which I'm not saying that they did it for Nikke, they did it for Grand Cross, and they put up a BS statement, and it was they were pushing the Netmarble hate. Netmarble literally did nothing wrong in the entire situation, but they pushed it that Netmarble did everything wrong and screw the company, never play a Netmarble game. And I was so lost in what happened, because I played the game, and all of the Grand Cross people in my server, because we have a Discord server, right? And we're talking, we're what did Grand Cross do? what did they do wrong? And it's they were pushing this Netmarble hate, and the game literally was not suffering from any sort of controversy or anything that Netmarble deserved the hate. It was give Netmarble the hate, baby, throw it at them. They're what the fudge? But yeah, if you also saw this, there was kind of a drama here because Nikke won a best RPG, and they're Nikke's not an RPG. The Nikke shoot RPGs, does that count? And then best RPG, what? I hope everyone knows that RPG stands for role playing. You know that, right? So you role play as Chad Mander. I don't know if you know about that, but that's kind of a thing, So it is a role playing game. Just if you ever kind of get hit up on a hot quiz or something like that, being is Nikke an RPG? Well, it is. So take that just so you know. It is an RPG, but yeah, I don't know. People were not liking this is not an RPG. It's an RPG. Just know that, all right? So now you know. But yeah, I wanted to cover this because I don't know. I want your opinion also. Let me know. Maybe I'm wrong here. Everyone has their own opinion. Everyone should be entitled to one. But yeah, this was kind of wild to me.